Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Patrons video today that I am making for Andreas. Today I'm not wearing my Spiderhands hat. Usually I do. I don't know where it is, man. It's somewhere in the house, but just in case you're expecting this Spiderhands beanie, it'll be here for the next video. I don't know, it's just gone AWOL. If we switch over to here, we've got ourselves a track by an act named Covet titled Falkor. This is the full band playthrough I'm doing for Andreas for their custom monthly music review. We're going to listen through this track from start to finish and hear what we think. Let's go. Ah, man. That guitar playing is stunning, eh? That guitar is beautiful as well, obviously a custom. Such phenomenal voice in there with the cymbal shimmers as well. It's really impressive musicianship. Not really sure about the time signature in here. I think it does vary between the different bars we've got. That progressive indie mellow tone is super seductive though, isn't it? Oh. The drummer is having such a fantastic time. I love the chemistry of the different members in the band. Great, are we switching tempos now? Have we got that freeform kind of flow to it? Are we playing without a click track? I dig that, I vibe with that, I like that organic nature to the performance. Dude, what have we gotten ourselves in for here though, man? Like, for real. That's incredibly impressive musicianship. Oh, interesting bass lines. The bass is so supportive of everything else. These 16th note ghost notes. Oh, snap. Decision down the left side. Even with all the complex to the technicality of this performance, the proficiency on the different instruments, and how many notes there are and how many hits there are, you can still appreciate a gentle kind of a triplet groove to it. I like the fact that there's that main sort of flow we can work to, but we can also take in everything else along the way. Not sure how to nod to this, to be fair though. Like, how do you nod to something like this? Ah, seamless transition to this new effects chain on the guitar. Okay, different section now. Great work on the floor toms there, nice focus change and the shift of it. Five 4. We're just switching into 5/4 now. probably the most experimental tracks I've listened to throughout this year, you know. I think what's important when listening to this kind of tune is to hear the main notes, the main voicings of it, because the guitar work here is, the reason the guitar is so intricate and interesting is because you have to combine the harmonies and melodies there that are on top of the bass and drums, plus a vocal line to have some sort of lead direction in it. So you're kind of fulfilling 3 different roles in one, and that takes talent and that takes skill and experience. So testament to Covet. I mean, to be fair, there is like a sameness, I suppose, about the ambience and the cloudy nature of it. You know, it's a long song. There'd be people who maybe would have tuned out by now, probably, perhaps because they're not used to listening to instrumental pieces in full. But I can appreciate nonetheless the different sections that we have within it, that we're trying to deliberately differentiate them by the changes in tempo and such like that. But this is experimental, and I quite appreciate that. Phenomenal tone to those drums there. The mixing and mastering is spectacular. And it's like worth noting as well, these are not just traditional major minor triads, we're working with some extensions here, some sort of neoclassical tones coming in as well. Oh, a fantastic shift in pace there. Oh, the buzz rolls there, dude, the rolls, man, that technique is tops, man. Good amps. The Vox amp I can see there in the video. I don't know if that's literally what they used to record this, but I mean, it's probably not because you can't see. There's no microphones there recording it. I can't see any. Oh no, are there mics on the drums? There might be mics on the drums. No, there's not. I refuse to believe this hasn't been close mic'd. Great choice having distortions come at this point. It's quite late into the piece. Yeah, so we're repeating our rhythm there, but we're just switching the chords and the harmony up. I think that's a nice touch. That's kind of one way that we used to go between different lines and different concepts, is having a sense of sameness about at least one element of it. That Buddy Rich kind of like the drumming there was absolutely phenomenal there. The light hands, man, the quick hands, but the light hands as well. We were hitting quick, but we weren't necessarily hitting hard. They kind of sort of a constant, almost. It was so quick. It felt like a constant texture from the kit. Then it was so great to have just as a change, just the straight eighth note triplets we've had. You know, it's stunning that we can make all that work together. Excellent performance. Fantastic. And I mean, I know this is something that, you know, when I was growing up, there weren't a lot of really phenomenally technical lady guitarists that were front women. Because, you know, this is my conclusion of this review of Covet's Falkor as part of the SP Patrons video you're checking out today for Andreas. There were not a lot of hugely proficient technical lady musicians, at least in the mainstream, or like through YouTube, because when I was learning guitar, it was in the mid-2000s, YouTube was just starting up, you know. Nowadays, you have people fronting, you know, triplet bands like this, and just three instrumentalists who are incredibly talented, proficient, and competent, vibing together with a song they've written and structured, and it's just effortlessly entertaining and intriguing to listen to. I'm not going to pretend that everyone will necessarily like listening to this music, not because I think it's of a poorer quality or anything like that. I think it's tremendous, but you have to sit down and actively listen to it. And for a lot of people, it's enough to just have a track with some vocals that you listen to whilst you're doing something, and that's fine. There's no shade thrown at anyone for that. But for me personally, I think you really have to sit down with this, absorb it in its wholeness. You really have to want to be a part of that world that they're creating here. And obviously this track isn't necessary, well, it doesn't have any lyrics. You don't know what it's about. It's more about the atmosphere, the journey you go on, rather than the thematic lyrical direction. So obviously we don't have vocals either. You know, what do I think the song is about? I'm not sure what Falkor is. You know, I'm not sure what Falkor is, but I can see people in a room with balloons. Maybe it's a celebration, a party, a glimmer of their hope, or their youthfulness, their vibrancy, just enjoying that connection that they have with one another. Maybe that's what the track is about. Maybe it's deliberately meant to be vague and mysterious, and the person's supposed to form their own opinion based on the visual and audio stimuli. I'm not sure. But regardless, I think it's a fantastic effort on the part of everyone involved, and I'm very proud of them for doing that, you know. Structurally, as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't necessarily through composed. It was a photo-classical arrangement structure. We had 4 or 5 different parts, you know, with varying tempos, chord arrangements. We had similar textures with the tones of the instruments. And it's not like we introduced other elements or other instruments along the way. It was traditionally just the guitar, the bass, and the drums. And for the work there to sound so full with just those 3 instruments is testament to their skills as arrangers, composers, and as musicians. And I'm not going to begin to try and break down the various tempo changes and key signature adjustments and the different extensions to those chord progressions and the different melodies played there. I think that the best way to understand this track is just simply to accept it for what it is. Believe that there was a bigger picture here. This is not a song I think that is meant to be torn apart and kind of destroyed by overcomplicating the assessment of it. It's just they've managed to play all these different notes together in a way that makes sense. They vary the drum lines up occasionally. Well, no, not occasionally. There's so many different fills in here and different buzz roll parts. The work on the cymbals is absolutely tremendous, you know. I almost feel like, and the bassist is the contrasting incredibly well to the drummer, where he mainly plays the root notes and sticks as a really supportive role to the guitarist, who is just tapping for days, man. Fingerstyle, tapping, bit of strumming here and there, a few natural harmonics. It's stunning. It's very different music to what I'm listening to, but I don't have an issue with that at all. The production, recording, mixing, mastering was absolutely stellar. Got no complaints about it whatsoever. Absolutely phenomenal. These are musicians that'll go far. They've got a fantastic chemistry, as seen by the fact they were smiling at each other and just vibing with each other, turning to each other. They really look like they're having a great time with it, and I really hope they can do more of that in the future. And I wish them the best of luck in their future musical endeavors. But thank you very much for watching this review of Covet's Falkor. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go show them some love via their various social medias and the YouTube page. And yeah, stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists. At this point in time, is need to help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.